Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited about today's video because y'all know I love talking about travel, and all things travel related. So let's jump right on in. Today's topic was very interesting for me, so I thought it'd be interesting for you as well. So today we're going to be talking about how to take better travel photos. And these tips that I'm going to share with you are tips that a professional travel photographer, I read it someplace, and these are things that they recommend. So we're going to jump right on in. So, number one, invest in a real camera. And I know you might be thinking, now Michelle, why in the world would I go out and buy a real camera when I have a iPhone 6S, 6 Plus, 7, whatever it is that you have, Android that has a great camera on it? Well, because camera phones have come a long way. But if you want to up your game, you should upgrade your equipment. Now, you don't have to run and jump out and buy a DSLR camera. I know a lot of people have them. I do not as of yet, but I'm not going to lie. I will be adding that to my list of cameras in 2017. But you do want to get a nice camera, and you can find a nice camera for around $300, $400. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money on a great camera to take good pictures with. And so I just real quickly, right now I am filming on my Nikon Coolpix camera, which I love because it has the flip out screen. Or sometimes I'm filming on my Canon photo shoot. Love both of those. They take great pictures. And I didn't spend a lot of money. I think my Canon I spent maybe $300 some for. This Nikon, I actually got it refurbished on Amazon. I found it for $122. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of money on a good camera, but you do want to upgrade from just taking pictures on your iPad or your cell phone. Number two, take the time to edit your pictures. And so what was suggested, it says, does it take some time? Of course it does. Okay, it really does, especially if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it's going to take probably even longer. But even when you know what you're doing, it takes some time because you want to make sure your contrast is just right. You want to make sure you're cropping out things that you don't need in your photo. There are apps that you can use to brighten up your smile, add a little color to your face, probably remove some of the gray from your hair. I don't know, but it does take a little bit to edit pictures. But it's so worth it. It is so worth it. And let me just put a pin right here and say this. When you see a lot of videos on YouTube, probably Facebook, but I'm going to say more so YouTube, trust and believe, some of those pictures have been edited. Let's just keep it real because, we all do. And it's nothing bad about that. So, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. One suggestion would be to use Adobe Lightroom on your computer. So if you're editing photos on your computer, Adobe Lightroom is something that you might want to look into. But keep in mind there are tons of editing apps that you can download on your phone. And the beauty of it is that most of them are free. Number three, aim to shoot at the golden hour. Now you might be thinking, what is the golden hour? Well, I'm going to tell you. The golden hour is the hour after sunrise, but before sunset. Okay, so after sunrise, but before sunset, where the sun and daylight is softer, and it makes it the best time of the day to do your photo shoots. And you can take pictures, but you can take pictures anytime. Let me just put that out there. You can take them at any time of the day that you want, but those are considered to be the best times, if you will. Next, we want to, what is that number? 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4, use the rule of thirds. So the rule of thirds is a common photography technique used to make photos more balanced and interesting. So you want to imagine placing a tic-tac-toe board over your photo. The spots where the lines cross are where you want to place your subject. Now I'm going to try that out. I won't lie, it sounds a little confusing, but I'm going to try that out to see, in fact, how that actually works. Number 5, plan ahead. before you go, research what the city has to offer. And let me not just, well, yeah, the city has to offer, but just wherever it is that you're going, research what that area has to offer. Like is there a clock tower? Is there a bell in the center of town, or something that is really worth photographing? Or is there a place where you can stand up high and take pictures down low, just from different angles, because that makes a huge difference too sometimes in your pictures. But you want to take the road less traveled whenever possible. So think places that most people don't go to take pictures, and there is usually where you'll find some really great photo opportunities. Okay? So number 6, look to others for inspiration. Get out there, connect with people, read the stories they're telling, even if their photos aren't flawless. And sometimes you will come across photos that aren't flawless, but they're just absolutely beautiful nonetheless. Talk to people, find out what it is they're using to edit their photos, what are they shooting on, or all those different things. But just get out and talk to people. Number 7, use your own eye and be unique. I think last week I talked about not necessarily doing what everybody else is doing. Be unique. Use your own eye. Everyone has their own unique eye, and you will be the most successful when you focus on what you are naturally drawn to instead of what you see, instead of what you see someone else post on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Look around you. Keep your eyes open and pay attention to the little things. So I said all that to say, you don't always want to photograph things that other people are taking pictures of. Use your own uniqueness. What is it that you're drawn to? What catches your eye? Those are the things that you want to post, because then you're being you and not trying to be someone else. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I keep losing my count. 6, 7, 8. Number 8, get in your photos. Now, I know I have a bad habit of taking photos, and I can take 20, 30 photos and not be in any of them. So I'm going to do better with that. So what it says here is, of course, you really don't, if you really don't want to be in the photos, I can understand that, and I'm pretty sure other people can as well, because everybody doesn't see themselves as being photogenic, number 1. And you might be by yourself, so it's kind of hard for you to get in the photo if you are by yourself. So if that's the case, then you might want to photograph your friends or other subjects instead. But it said that you really should have a human element in your photos. And it's so interesting when I read that, because I never ever thought about that. But I think I'm going to start doing that as I go forward. And even if you just capture, now I will say this, you want to be careful about just randomly taking people's pictures and then using them, especially if you're going to post them on Instagram and other social media platforms. You want to be very, very careful about that. So maybe if you're out and about and there's a crowd of people and you're taking pictures and you just have the backs of people, that might be okay. Again, I'm not an expert on that, so don't quote me, but just be very careful about taking people's photos and just using them without their permission. Typically, your family and friends, they're not going to care. So, and also, if you have a camera that has a delayed timer, that is an absolute perfect way to take pictures of a great surrounding and allow you to get into the photo as well. So use that option if you have it on your camera. Most cameras have it. I'm pretty sure this Nikon has it. I just have no idea how to set it, but that's okay. I will figure it out. On my Canon, I do know how to do that now through trial and error, but check those things out because your camera probably has that setting on there. Number 8, capture a candid moment. It's not often in life that we get to capture a candid moment, but when you see it, you have to be ready. So that means you have to carry your camera with you at all times so that you can take it, because that moment may never, ever, ever happen again. So be ready to capture your candid moments. If you're traveling alone or with a friend, don't be afraid to ask someone else to take your photo, because you can always do that. And I've gone places where people says, "Hey, excuse me, do you mind taking a photo of my family?" Sure, I have no problem. You tell me what I'm supposed to push, I can make it happen. So they won't always turn out the best, but sometimes you'll be pleasantly surprised at something. Something is better than nothing. Let me just say that. Make sure to offer a reciprocal. Make sure to offer to reciprocate. I'm sorry, for them as well. So basically, if I stop you and say, "Hey, can you take a picture of my family and I?" And then I can say, "Well, hey, why don't I take one of you and your family?" Because we want to reciprocate and be nice, right? Another option is to take them of yourself. And I just shared with you all that cameras have timers on them. Most of them do. Well, I know, like I said, I know my Canon does. I'm not sure about this Nikon. It probably does. I just have to figure out how to use it. But it'll allow you to take pictures, and you can be in all of them should you choose to. Now, last but certainly not least, practice, 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 and then practice some more. Can't stress that enough. You don't just pick up a camera and become a great photographer overnight. You don't. It takes months, years, even decades, and even still, you'll always have more to learn. So the more you practice, the better you'll become. The same goes for your editing. So, like I said, if you want to take some really great vacation photos, you might want to use some of these tips that I've just shared with you. And of course, I will link them all in the description box below, so you don't have to worry about taking notes. And I look forward to seeing some of your photos. I'm going to leave, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave my, not LinkedIn. I'm having a brain fart just now. I'm going to leave my Instagram information in the description box, because I really would like to see you all take photos from family, especially now that we're at the holiday season. I would love to see your photos of your family and friends during this holiday season. So again, I'm going to leave my Instagram information in the description box. Please feel free to tag me in your photos so that I can check them out. And that is all I have for you. So I look forward to seeing your travel photos, your holiday photos, your special moments, all those wonderful things. And until we meet again next week, I love you guys, and there's nothing you can do about it. So take care.